Hello and welcome back to Afrik Football. Yes, guys, we are back. We have not done a live video in a while, but Kaizer Chiefs has lost to say. Oh man, I don't even know what to say.
Yo,
Ooh,
what's
Mr.
up?
Wambadu, take over.
So we're watching the game, Kaizer Chiefs versus Sekhukhune United. Sekhukhune United get their second clean sheet rather this season away from home, and they get it against the mighty Kaizer Chiefs, which leaves us wondering how good is Kaizer Chiefs. Ever since they came back after the break, I personally have been seeing their games, and I do not think Kaizer Chiefs are playing to the standard they need to be playing at. I do not know if maybe when they went for the World Cup break, they were just chilling and not training and all, but I feel they're not playing too well now.
All right, I will come in and chime in and say Kaizer Chiefs has lost this game, and ultimately, as you can see right now on your screen, is the man of the match in this game. That's Sekhukhune United is goalkeeper. What this is actually showing me is that Kaizer Chiefs' striking department needs some reinforcement. If you guys are in agreement with what I'm saying, please do drop us a comment. Do let me know if you believe Kaizer Chiefs need a striker, because definitely I believe Kaizer Chiefs needs a striker. This game, I watched this whole game, and in my mind, I thought that Duve mistake is what cost us this game. But I believe Kaizer Chiefs would have won this game. Like, we could have gotten this game, would have won this game very comfortably. But now there are some weird statistics that Mr. Wamba was going to share with us how Sekhukhune United managed to beat Kaizer Chiefs. But for me, this was just poor striking. Our strikers were very bad. For the goalkeeper of another team to be the man of the match just means the striking department was that bad. Mr. Wamba, hit us
And
the good news.
looking at Kaizer Chiefs, I think that was the 80th minute. They only had like two shots on target. So that was also another bad statistic. I heard the commentator talking about it and everything. Later on, they started taking shots. No wonder the goalkeeper was the man of the match of the game. But I agree with Mr. Zuze where he says they need more people in their striking department. So personally, I feel they also need more people in the striking department. So I'm looking at Kaizer Chiefs and I'm thinking Kaizer Chiefs probably need to sign strikers, but where they'll get the strikers from is something that we as Afrik football need to do our research on and give recommendations.
All right, in that vein, I'm going to be talking about some of the strikers that have been linked with Kaizer Chiefs. Ultimately, if you guys know, we haven't done the video in a while, but up on the screen right now, as you can see, are two strikers that I think Kaizer Chiefs needed to sign. One of them is being Christian Saile of Congo, who is playing in the Zambian league for of course, he's playing in the Zambian league for Nchanga Rangers, right, Mr.
Yes,
Wamba?
yes,
Yes.
yes. He
He's
plays for
playing for
Kagulura
Nchanga
Rangers.
Rangers, and this player was actually in South Africa attending a trial at Kaizer Chiefs, because Kaizer Chiefs has a new trial policy, which we'll definitely discuss and what we think about it. But this player was willing. He traveled to South Africa to try and sign for the mighty Kaizer Chiefs, but I don't know how far it's gone with all this reaction and all the trialist things, but Mr. Wamba will discuss it going forward. But another player is Kennedy Musonda. Kennedy Musonda, for those who do not know, also plays in the Zambian league. He is as he plays for Power Dynamos, and currently is, I think, yeah, we're going to talk about that story. Before I give much, Mr. Wamba is going to come in and jump in and talk about these two strikers and what he thinks about them.
All right. So first things first, Mr. Zuzu talked about the trial system at Kaizer Chiefs. So as Afazwani actually talked about it and actually mentioned to say Kaizer Chiefs is a mighty club. It's a big club. So they'll no longer sign players based on their previous performance at the other clubs, but they would rather sign players based on what they see when they're training at Kaizer Chiefs. So they'll call them over in camp and they'll be there in the Kaizer Chiefs camp. And if the players perform well, they get signed. If they don't perform well, they don't get signed. I personally have a problem with that because where football has reached now, players have got this pride, and there's some players on the African continent that wouldn't be happy if they were called for a trial. Imagine calling an Idris Mbombo for a trial. Like, he's a tried and tested player. He's done it in the Champions League. He's done it in the CAF Confederation. Kaizer Chiefs don't even make the CAF Confederation Champions League every season. So personally, I'm against the idea. But okay, I'll take a deep dive into.
No, I'm going to jump in right now and say that I am always on the opposite of Mr. Wamba. I believe the trial system is very good. We've seen the likes of Zlatan go to a club and they tell him try for a trial, and he says, "I don't do trials. You guys already know who I am." But for me, it works both ways. You do travel to the country where you're trialing out. You'll be given money for your travels. They'll book everything for you. They'll bring you to the Naturena. They'll give you a chance to actually try out and being a Kaizer Chiefs player. But the good thing is that they'll try you and give you a number of scenarios. They'll give you some practical runs. They'll give you a lot of different scenarios to see if you really do fit into the team. It doesn't waste everyone's time. For example, Kambole, Lazarus Kambole is a very good example. If you went for the trial system and they learned that it does not fit into Kaizer Chiefs' plans, it means he would have gone home that very day and he would have continued his very good career with Zesco United, and it would have not mattered that he went to Kaizer Chiefs at any point. I know there's going to be egos, but guys, you have to be realistic. You sometimes need to try yourself and just know if you really fit in with the team before you do take that deep dive. So for me, the trial system is not as bad. But right now, I'm too shocked and I'm too disappointed by Kaizer Chiefs to actually be thinking right now. If you guys even know, I'm very furious at this time. Like, guys, we had a chance to cement some African football, continental football. But on that vein, I haven't talked about any of the strikers on the screen right now. Christian Saile, very good guy, a very proven player. He got his club from the division, from the National League, the division, which is like Division 2, and brought Changa Rangers back to the fold, back to the Zambian Super League. While Kennedy Musonda, at the age of 28, has played CAF Confederations football when Green Eagles was in the CAF Confederations football, and is now being linked to the move to Young Africa FC, because right now he did not practice or he did not play today's game for Power Dynamos, and he was not in the squad. So this player is actually moving for an active move to leave. I believe Kaizer Chiefs should try this player. I know lots of you are going to disagree with me, but do drop us a comment in there and let me know, like, what do you think about Kennedy Musonda? Have you seen him play? I believe he's one of the players who could partner very well with Caleb, because Mr. Mamba, I know you've been against the trial system, but do you know that Caleb, the guy who's the current top goal scorer of the PSL, went to Kaizer Chiefs and did a trial, and that's how they actually selected him as a player who's supposed to play for Kaizer Chiefs? Did you know that?
No, I actually didn't know that. But now that you've informed me about the whole thing, I do understand where you guys are coming from. But there's some egos in Africa, and where Kaizer Chiefs is as a club, they need some of these players with the egos to actually make Kaizer better. So if they cannot sign the players with the ego and they'll continue bringing in these mediocre players, Kaizer, because of the trial system, Kaizer Chiefs will never.
No, I don't understand. What do you mean they're bringing mediocre players?
Because mediocre players will come to Kaizer Chiefs for a trial.
No, not only mediocre players will come to Kaizer Chiefs for a trial. Do you know that last season's almost top scorer Bradley Globra, actually Bradley some of the players like Bradley, even that guy we did talk about lots of different players last time when we were doing dissecting this. Just give me a minute, guys. There were lots of decent players who came for this particular trial, and others include Nema Kahembe, very good player. I won't even lie to you guys. You guys who actually watch African football, you do know he's actually a very good player. Bajna as well was a very good player. So I don't believe that only the mediocre players are going to come to the club for a trial. I believe if you are a very good club and you're offering very good money, people will come for a trial.
I stand to jump there. When I look at the players that bringing in, right, these are players who are good but do not have CAF Champions League experience. But what Kaizer Chiefs need right now is players with CAF Champions League experience and CAF Confederation Cup experience. And most of the players who've got such experience are not the kinds of players in Africa that will actually come for a trial at Kaizer Chiefs. Because they even refuse going for trials in Europe. Then why would they go for a trial at Kaizer Chiefs? So I personally, not that I'm undermining Kaizer Chiefs, I do understand they're a big team, but I personally feel them saying they'll do it for every player is just wrong. They're just certain players on the African continent that just can move from one club to another without you having to question how they're going to play or anything, because they're known for their track record.
Nah, guys, okay, all I'm going to say is I like the trial system, but Mr. Momba, okay, I might agree with Mr. Momba because we've lost today. Kaizer Chiefs losing, guys, is making me agree with Mr. Momba, but I believe it's the trial system is
the comment down there.
Yes, as now we'll get to it. The trial system is something that I think it helps. I understand that the big players will not want to come for it, but I think Kaizer Chiefs is a very big enough brand to allow people to come and do a trial with it. What do you guys think? Do let me know. I see there's a comment from Mr. Frank Gumede who says Kaizer Chiefs needs a new striker. Yes, that is the very big discussion. But the thing what we're trying to dissect and talk about is what is the preferred method of bringing in a new striker for Kaizer Chiefs? I won't even lie to you. I know Duve came in using the trial system as well. He went for a trial to Kaizer Chiefs, then that's when he signed for them. I believe lots of different players have done the trial system. Mamelodi Sundowns also does use the trial system, if you're not aware. For them to bring Nazir from Ethiopia, they actually brought him before. They did a trial on him, and so how he would fit in with the team, then let the guy go back to his country to finish his league, then sign him after. I don't think it is a very bad approach. I think it's going to help and save time for both the team, the agents, and everyone who plays football to not waste their time by traveling to South Africa, then becoming a flop. I think this is a very good method. I know someone was going to disagree on this one. Okay, so no, I need you to give me. Okay, I know people don't like playing the trial, but guys, what do you guys think? I think you guys are the only people who can separate and split us, because I am here convinced that trial system is a very good system. It does help.
I don't believe in the trial system because all of the stories I've heard about the trial system always end in a bad way. Most of the people or most of the teams, you look at Chelsea, they denied Mbappe using the trial system. I know he was young and probably you can't blame them too much. You go to Arsenal, they denied Zlatan because they wanted Zlatan to attend the trial. And these are some of the biggest names we have in the world of soccer. And we've got other teams that have denied trials for different players, and those players made it big in other clubs, though he denied at the trial phase. I'm not saying, I'm not saying that trials are not necessary or trials are not important, but all I'm saying is if Kaizer Chiefs want strikers that will get them the Champions League someday, the CAF Champions League, then they'll have to sign some strikers without using the trial system. They're just strikers who just have to come in where everyone understands and says, this is a proven African striker, and let's get him to the Kaizer Chiefs team so as we move forward and win the Champions League.
Well, guys, before we did get distracted, I'm going to talk about it. Kaizer Chiefs has lost Sekhukhune United. Do let us know in the comments how you feel about that. Are you as disappointed as I am that Kaizer Chiefs failed in this game? Particularly, they really just failed in this game. Do let me know in the comments below how you feel about it, because I am very hard done with how Kaizer Chiefs performed in this game, and I believe they could have done better. I believe we could have won this game if it wasn't just one mistake by Duve at the back. We would have been flying sky high. Maybe we would have gotten a goal, but the striking department was very abysmal. It was very disappointing. There are 2 shots by the time it was getting to 88 minutes mark. They've given Sekhukhune United their second win in a row, the second win of the season, which is very disappointing. It should tell you of the caliber and quality of a team we're playing against. If you saw everyone at Sekhukhune United, immediately the final whistle went on. The guys were jumping like they've won the World Cup, but it was just a simple game. I just wanted to say some curse words here, but YouTube is penalizing people for saying curse words. But Mr. Mwamba, how do you feel about this game? And let the people also come in, because Kigan Dolly missed a couple of chances. So that's why I say we need a new striker. But Mr. Mwamba, do come in before I get very mad and upset.
Looking at this game, I feel, as everyone's saying, Kaizer Chiefs needs new strikers, and in all honesty, that's what Kaizer Chiefs should be looking for. And it's quite sad, where every season we talk about Kaizer Chiefs needing new strikers. Like we literally started Afrik football because we thought Kaizer Chiefs needed a new striker, and we said, let's go to YouTube and start a channel so as Kaizer Chiefs gets a new striker. So the options are there. Most YouTubers have talked about the kinds of strikers Kaizer Chiefs needs, and at times I feel but they need to find strikers. They definitely need to find strikers.
No, the Kaizer Chiefs definitely needs to find strikers. But Mr. Mamba, off the top of your head, apart from the 2 strikers that are on our screen, who else would you want to sign at Kaizer Chiefs?
Look, from the top of my head, of course, today I was actually watching a match live in the stadium, the Zambian League. So I actually saw 2 games. I saw the Zanaco versus Kansashi Dynamos game. And after there, I actually saw the NAPSA versus Red Arrows game. Red Arrows being the champions of last season, and NAPSA Napsa Stars being the guys that won the equivalent of the FA Cup in Zambia. It's called the Absa Cup last season. So it was more like one of those debuts of champions, And I saw the game. The game ended 3-1. I was impressed with one player. And the one player that actually really, really impressed me was Kapembo Msonda, who happens to have played soccer at the same school with Kennedy Msonda. There's no relation between the two. Kennedy being the guy on the screen currently. They happen to play soccer. The guy in the yellow shirt, the Power Dynamos shirt, they happen to play soccer at the same school. I actually attended school at that very school. And I was very impressed by Kapemba Msonda's dribbling, his skill moves, and just the pressure he kept applying. He's the kind of striker where you'll be three defenders at the back or two defenders, and he'll put so much pressure on you guys that you get confused and actually lose the ball. And it seems like the guy doesn't get tired. He's always running, and he's got the European touch, the skill to actually score goals. So for me personally, I feel that's another striker I would mention. And I'll probably mention other strikers also who play outside Zambia, but I'd also ask Mr. Z the same question on who he feels which strikers could Kaizer sign apart from these two.
Well, I did a video. We did a video, and that video was about Moses Piri. He's in Tanzania currently. He was a free agent, and we did a video. Even said Kaizer Chiefs should get Moses Piri. Moses Piri is almost top joint goal scorer in Tanzania. Right now, he's just injured. He's out with a foot injury. But Moses Piri was one of those strikers that Kaizer Chiefs really needed. He's strong, he's fast, he's good on his feet. He's a very prolific goal scorer. We have done a video about him. We've talked numerous times about a player like Moses Piri, but Kaizer Chiefs never listens. That's the thing about Kaizer Chiefs. They never listen to us, the fans, when we tell them who we want them to sign. But again, we are just the fans. We're the mere humble people, the fans, the people who know nothing about football. But we're people who do see the players that Kaizer Chiefs needs to get. Kaizer Chiefs, if we're going to move forward, me as a fan, I believe, we need another striker. We play a double striker up front. We need to play a double striker up front. We need to sell the likes of Kama Billiard. We need to get some younger, fresh blood. We need to get some players. Zambia has got so many players. There's a boy, Jimmy Mkia, that I saw today from Napsa Stars, because we're in the stadium, as Mr. Mambas told you today. This Napsa Stars boy is very good. He's a winger, and I believe he could bring some attacking flair to Kaizer Chiefs. But Kaizer Chiefs has this thing where they try to look for the odd man out. I don't know where they find certain strikers in their system, but I believe Zambia has got lots of talent. I'm not going to lie to you. But as the Chan tournament is going to start in a few days, we're going to tell you even more strikers. But for now, all I'm saying is Zambia is a hub for very good strikers. Even Christian Saile, who is on your screen right now, who's from Congo, started out his career in Zambia and has been in Zambia for a while. All I'm saying is Zambia is a pool of good strikers, and Kaizer Chiefs, please, I know Lazarus Campbell is sucked at what he did when he was back in Kaizer Chiefs, but we can do better. We can provide you with some good players. I'm just here mitigating. If you need to get into contact with some players, Kaizer Chiefs, we are right here. We can connect you to some of the best quality players. But Kaizer Chiefs, bottom line, need this is what has led to us not doing well in this game. I don't know what I can say about Kaizer Chiefs, but I'm very disappointed. I thought this game would go differently. I thought we would win this game, but unfortunately,
yeah, the disappointment is all around. I feel at this stage in the PSL, we should be seeing teams actually giving Mamelodi Sundowns competition. But I look at the results from today. Like Sundowns won, and the two teams that are supposed to be giving Sundowns a run for their money, being Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates, have actually lost their games, and it doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up that the teams that are actually supposed to be making the league more entertaining are actually not performing to par. It's like it seems like Sundowns during the World Cup where the guys on vacation, where the guys training and the other guys on vacation, but things are actually opposite, because I remember seeing the Sundowns coach in there chilling and enjoying, and he's back, and they're now winning pretty much every game, and they're making the PSO seem like the Farmers League.
No, right. Sorry, guys. Right now, as you can see, I know the footage is bent, but it is a clip from today's game that we did attend today in the stadium, and it is the player we're talking about, Kapemba Msonda, who Mr. Mom was talking about would be a player that Kaizer Chiefs should probably sign because this youngster is good. He had a very good overall game. He had an assist. He had a goal today from the penalty spot. He's a reliable penalty taker. Very young, about 25 years old, and is playing the Zambian Super League. So I believe Kaizer Chiefs needs to be scouting and finding players. We do go to the stadium here in Zambia. We'll get you as many players as possible. But I feel the team itself needs to also decide that they want to sign some good quality players. So ultimately, for me, um, today has been slightly disappointing by Kaizer Chiefs. I don't know how the rest of you feel. Do let us know in the comments. How do you feel about Kaizer Chiefs' game? Because none of you are talking to us about how you felt about the game. We want to know what your reactions to the game were. But Mr. Mamba might be right, and Mr. Mamba is right. Kaizer Chiefs didn't do the most in this game. They did not look as hungry as the other team, and that is what led to Kaizer Chiefs' downfall. I hope Kaizer Chiefs does better next time. I hope Kaizer Chiefs does better going forward because I believe Orlando Pirates and Kaizer Chiefs losing is just making this league the Mamelodi Sundowns league. If Mamelodi Sundowns win 7 trophies, we'll just have to go into name it the Mamelodi Sundowns DSTV Premiership because that is the only way we're going to mitigate what Mamelodi Sundowns is doing to us. We are literally a farmers league. The PSL is literally a farmers league. It's literally the French league. It's literally the Bundesliga. It's literally the farmers league. We are in the gutters. We are the ghetto. The PSL is becoming a one-man show. If you read every comment every time you go on the PSL, I saw Nkuruleku write something saying that the league has become boring because Mamelodi Sundowns keeps winning everything. Mamelodi Sundowns this, Mamelodi Sundowns that. People are even calling Coach Rulani the Guardiola of this league, which is very disappointing. Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates, if you're watching this, we need to do better as clubs, and I'm very disappointed. It's good to have Mr. Mwamba, who's an Orlando Pirates fan, because we are both losers. Our teams are losers. We need to do better. But I would like to hear from you guys. What did you think was the biggest problem with Mamelodi Sundowns? With Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates this weekend? For me, I believe Kaizer Chiefs needs a striker. Once Kaizer Chiefs does get a striker, I think it's gonna get better. Our lives will get better. Everything's going to get better. But I don't know how Mr. Mamba thinks. But this league overall, I'm already handing over to Mamelodi Sundowns. They have not lost in the past. I don't know, is it 8 games? And they're just going to run over this league. They have the money, they have the resources. They're acting like they're white people. Even that's the selection process of players. It's like God tier. I don't understand where Mamelodi Sundowns finds the best of the best. I know where they find them. We do videos about the best of the best in Africa. But Kaizer Chiefs, Orlando Pirates never listen.
And the funny thing is, when we do a video on a player where we say these are some of the best players we have on the African continent, you would see teams like Mamelodi Sundowns signing the player. You see teams like Simba sign Moses Spiri. You see teams like younger Africans. You see North African teams actually signing these players. And we usually do these videos where we say like the special talents we have in Africa. So like these are the players where we've been noticing how they've been playing on the African continent. So when we do a video, most players don't even last 2 to 3 months. Boom, they're signed by clubs. And when they go to the clubs, they actually perform. And I can honestly say they overperform. Moses Spiri currently at Simba is overperforming. And the list could go on. Like if you just watch more and more of our videos, the list could go on and on and on. So I feel right now for Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates, if the scouts are not doing enough, if I do not know who's in charge of making signings, if the owners are not doing enough, I think it's about time they start listening to the fans and seeing what the fans actually want from the club, what the fans are suggesting, so as when they sign those players, Kaizer Chiefs will start playing better and Kaizer Chiefs might actually end up winning the league.
No, I also believe we do too many research videos. We go to the stadium, we watch these games, we bring you the best updates. But I just feel like, what do the scouts do? Where do the scouts find their scouting talent?
I honestly feel the scouts are lazy. They probably just sit on TV and watch watch the league on TV and say, oh yeah, that guy is playing, or let's try to sign him. Because I feel that's a selection process currently at Kaizer Chiefs, because they never really get to see these players. Because the only way they probably found Siley is because in Changa Rangers, games are shown on DSTV, so they're probably watching Supersport 9 Sunday and heard the commentator say he's a good player. But then the thing that they should also look at is watching leagues that are not shown on DSTV. The Tanzanian league is shown on Azam TV. We get access to watch some of these games here in Zambia. We talk about players from that league. We talk about players from North Africa. I, for one, lived in North Africa for over 7 years. We talk about players from East Africa. We talk about players from West Africa. But you will never see Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates take action on these players. You find different clubs taking action, and those different clubs actually end up winning real trophies, winning their leagues, winning the Champions League, winning the Confed, and it's just it's a beautiful thing to see, because you look at your research and you're like, oh, clubs are actually signing these players. But then Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates, I don't know. I don't even think the scouts do any research. I don't even think they watch YouTube videos based on what players are being scouted by fans or by people who've got YouTube channels who are actually looking out for the numbers.
No, that's the thing I've been noticing about people recently. The scouting teams for these players. Well, the scouting teams and the media teams, the journalists, well, we're all bad people. Right now, Coach Pitso Msomani has come out and stated that there's a story about Temiko Siloch going around saying that he wants to be signed for Saudi Arabia. But Pitso Msomani, who's very active on Twitter, has come out and stated that he doesn't know about this Loach story. If it was him signing Loach, him and his scouts do not know about Loach traveling or going to Saudi Arabia. And further stated, Orlando Pirates is not also aware of him wanting Loach. So he doesn't know where these stories are coming from. So guys, there are going to be a lot of rumors. Don't listen to everything. You've noticed we haven't been putting out lots of content lately. We've been trying to verify the stories. We are not trying to be on your feed every day giving you fake information. We're trying to verify and vet all the information that we give to you, the fans, because we know your time is very important. And if you know that this is a good thing we're doing, please give us a like and subscribe. We could be pumping out videos every day which have false information, but we'd rather come to you and give you stories of good information. So right now, the Pizza of Somani story is developing. If you guys follow him on Twitter, you know that it stated that he is not trying to buy Temiko Siloch. Yeah, maybe they haven't thought about it yet, but right now he does not want to buy Temiko Siloch. So we put that story to bed. You don't. We saved you like a click when that story comes up somewhere else. That's be like, I've already watched this on Afrik Football. Yeah, give us a like for that very reason, and do drop us a comment on other things you'd like us to cover, guys. We do lots of research based on African players. We watch football. You guys saw a few seconds ago we had put up a game that we had gone to today. I'm put it up on the screen. We had gone to watch the NAPSA game today at the stadium live, and we're doing some scouting works for different videos that we're doing, because we know you guys really like our videos and we want to bring you the best of the videos. So ultimately, what we're saying is that as people who watch football in general have a better understanding of how this football thing works, unlike the teams and the people in the back rooms for Kaizer Chiefs, because it seems they don't understand how to choose players. How do you not know how to sign a striker? The transfer window right now, today is the 7th. The transfer window opened 7 days ago, but Kaizer Chiefs is still silent in the market. We will recommend something, Kaizer Chiefs will sleep on it, other teams will sleep on it, but Mamelodi Sundowns just be like, we've seen Nazir is playing very well in Ethiopia. Let's send out a guy to try and get and sign him. Kaizer Chiefs will be there just looking. In Zambia, we call it the Ndui mentality. They were just wazanka Ndui. Though wazambo mtamba she Kaizer Chiefs or Mamelodi Sundowns signing players will be Ndui. That's what we call it in Zambia. I think Kaizer Chiefs needs to do better as a team. They need to up their game. They need to come to the table and sign players that actually matter.
It all goes down to the scouting systems, really. Like, it seems like Kaizer Chiefs and the Orlando Pirates are just concentrated in finding players in SA. It's not a bad thing. Like, I understand there's an international player cap and everything. It's not a bad thing, but the African continent has got 54 countries. And you cannot tell me you can find 5-6 good players who can actually change the dynamic of your team. Like, at this stage, Sundowns look like a gold tier team because they know the right signings to make. We also make recommendations of players who actually play in South Africa, but then Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates will sleep on those players, and then they'll just go and find a player who's playing somewhere, who's probably got two goals
He's going to be
in
like
20.
30
Yeah,
years old.
he's going to be 30 years old and has scored 2 goals in the past 27 games. And you see that scout said, that's the guy we need. And there'll be players somewhere in Africa who would have scored 15 goals in 17 games, and Kaizer Chiefs will be like, we don't need that guy. We need the guy with 2 goals. That's the
Also,
striker we're looking for.
I'm just going to chime in, Mr. Mombe, and say that I think the reason Kaizer Chiefs was not going to go forward is the very thing Mr. Mombe is saying. We try and recycle 30-year-olds who had hype when they were like 26, and we just keep saying, no, these guys are great. I know there's like a 30-year-old who joined Orlando Pirates. I said so many things about that 30-year-old, and you guys came in and attacked me and said I don't know. Then you're like, you guys just get the journalistic pass to just say whatever you want. I don't know what to do research. Guys, honestly speaking, Africa has got lots of great talent. There are lots of young players who are very good. Some who are even edge cheating and trying to play for tournaments that they are younger than they actually are. But for me, it's always been about the quality and class of players. It's okay. I know there's an international player cap, but it doesn't mean every other player has to be a player who's been at Mamelodi Sundowns or who started at Orlando Pirates and went to what's this Cape Town City. Then now wants to make his comeback. Then you're like, let's sign him again for Kaizer Chiefs. No, guys, there's more to football than just being stuck in a bubble of choosing the same players. Every player you see on Kickoff magazine or any other magazine, there's always going to be the tag former Kaizer Chiefs player has gone to Orlando Pirates. A former Orlando Pirates player has gone to Kaizer Chiefs. Former Mamelodi Sundowns player has gone to Kaizer Chiefs. Akama Billiard and those guys and the likes. But I think yes, let's exactly. We're doing the same things over and over again, guys. Players do get tired. The older you get tired. In Africa, we've got lots of things going on, from our bad physique to our poor diets to I'm not going to talk about the age thing, but also that is also a thing. There's so many dynamics, and we can't keep pointing fingers and blaming hands. So for me, the best way to avoid such things, try going external. There are lots of players out there in the Zambian continent, also in the Zambian country. I know it seems like I'm doing favoritism, but Zambia does have some good players. Every time you watch a Kosafa, you see one or two very good talented players who are playing in the Zambian team or who are playing in the South African team. We all know in Southern Africa, Zambia is a very good team, and South Africa is very good in Zimbabwe as well. Why not? Okay, if you're not going to buy a player from Zambia, why not buy a player from Zimbabwe? Zimbabwe really clearly has got good players. Namibia has good players. Look at Peter Shalolide. There is Dion Hoto scored today. Peter Shalolide is very good. There's more than one country that you can get your players from. Namibia has a very close affinity to South Africa, and they are very good players. So I think, in all honesty, I believe we need to do better as Kaizer Chiefs and sign players. As also Mamelodi Sundowns needs to do better and sign some good players. Mr. Wamba, do chime in. What other statements do you have, Mr. Wamba?
At this stage, I just want to jump in and just say, till the scouting system is changed at Chiefs, till the scouting system is changed at Pirates, they're not winning the league. They need to change the scouting system. They need to find scouts who actually look further. Because, when I look at Mamelodi Sundowns starting 11 in 2016, when they won the CAF Champions League that comprised of Kama Billiard, the Keegan Dollies of this world, like half of those players, or at least 3 or 4 of those players, are starting in the Kaizer Chiefs team in 2023. That's like, what, 6-7 years later? And those guys were in their prime in 2016. They were in form in 2016. 7 years later, now Kaizer Chiefs scouts are now there seated and like, yeah, we need Keegan Dolly, we need Kama Billiard, we need this guy, we need this guy. You're now trying to get that team. And I'll give it to you, right? When Kaizer Chiefs, rather when Mamelodi Sundowns were winning that Champions League, in the semi-final they played Zesco United. The Zesco United, they played in that semi-final. Both home and away, the games ended 2-2. Zesco United were eliminated on away goals. Not even one of that Zesco United team player do I know that's still playing in the Zesco United team. That most of them are either retired, they're either not fallen out of favor in the Zambian league or in any league. They're not playing football anymore. It tells you to say that a team that the Mamelodi Sundowns was playing against in that very competition in the semi-final has got rid of all its players. The players are no longer relevant. So even I believe even the players on the Sundown side should also not be too relevant for a team like Kaizer Chiefs, because Kaizer Chiefs is a big team. That they shouldn't be using players who are relevant in 2016, in 2023. I feel Kaiser Chiefs should go all out, find young talent that can score goals, talent that can play good football, and actually sit down and start winning real things. Till they do that, Kaiser Chiefs won't win anything real. Till they actually find players they can sign who can play football on the African continent. The PSL, or rather the DStv Premiership right now, is no longer a league where you just need South African players. I hate to break it to you. For a South African team to win the CAF Champions League, they need to look out there, sign players. I do not care if they have to go to South America and find players. Let them go to South America and find players. But they need to start signing players. They cannot be losing to teams like Sekhukhune United. Like, these guys can't play football even if their whole lives depended on it. Much worse, Sekhukhune United getting a clean sheet. Like, how good as Sekhukhune United for them to be getting a clean sheet against the mighty Kaizer Chiefs?
Imagine Sekhukhune United even swapped the keeper. There's Tostan Sabata, who is Zambian, of course, guys. They swapped him out for this other goalkeeper that is right on your screen, and still beat Kaizer Chiefs, the second-rate goalkeeper. Guys, no, let's have some shame. Kaizer Chiefs, shame on you guys. I think you need to have shame. Orlando Pirates as well, shame on those teams, guys. Kaizer Chiefs, Orlando Pirates are not doing well. They will not challenge Mamelodi Sundowns. This is the Mamelodi Sundowns league. Mamelodi Sundowns is so good that they're even swapping coaches, so changing coaches like shit. Chiefs keep saying we are rebuilding. What are you rebuilding? Are you rebuilding the pyramid of Giza? Come on, guys. What is Kaizer Chiefs rebuilding? You've been rebuilding for 7 years. You're starting to sound like Manchester United. Very shameful and very weird behavior. You cannot be rebuilding for 7 years. You keep saying we're rebuilding, we're rebuilding. Gavin Hunt, number 2 on the league, playing very well, very good football. I'm starting to wonder. I'm starting to feel like maybe I should go the Manchester United route and just start saying maybe we should change the owners of the club, because it does not make sense. How are you failing? Oh, sorry, I meant Sportsman United actually did lose today, right? Yes, they did lose today. You haven't had lost, but guys, you can't not be losing to small teams like Sekhukhune United. The guys are really fighting for relegation, and you somehow are giving them points to keep them alive. Let us do better as Kaizer Chiefs, guys. I don't even know what to say. Now I'm just really dumbfounded by how this game went and how Kaizer Chiefs failed to beat a team that is at the bottom end of the league. Mr. Wamba, any final words as we might be wrapping up now? Because clearly I'm very
My
disappointed in this
final
team.
words are, before Gavin Hunt left, he said he's going to leave amicably. And when he was leaving, you could sense from the statements he was passing, though they had the whole conundrum of Arthur Zwane maybe just taking over for a bit, and all these stories, and from Gavin Hunt's point of view, I remember they had that transfer ban, but after the transfer ban, it was more about Gavin Hunt stating to say they haven't spent money in like a long period. So he thought they would actually spend and help Gavin Hunt actually move forward, because he was with them during the time where he couldn't sign players. He was just bringing in kids from the academy. But then the Motang family were not spending. So I honestly believe at this stage, maybe the owners have a problem. Maybe the owners even turn down some of the players that the scouts actually look for, because Gavin Hunt's statements, he never came out openly to mention it, but because they're his employers, but you could see that there's a real problem at the backroom staff, and it's a problem that needs to be changed. So I do not know if it's the owners that need to be changed. I do not know if it's the management in the club that needs to be changed, but something has to change at Kaizer Chiefs if Kaizer Chiefs want to win the league.
No, that is right, Mr. Wamba. Something needs to change at Kaizer Chiefs, and I definitely agree. Blom left because Kaizer Chiefs didn't want to give him a very good contract. That should tell you a lot. For me, that is my closing remark. Guys, if you like this video and you want us to do more of these reaction videos, our raw reaction videos, do remember to like and subscribe. And this has been Afrik Football. We'll be dropping you a video talking about all the news that we've covered in here, but in a more styled out format. which you guys like. I know you guys don't like our live streams, but if you did enjoy this live stream, do give us a like. Do remember to subscribe, and we will definitely see you in the next one. Peace out. Bye.